Okay, so I'd known you for a couple years when you let me know that you had ended up living with Jim Morrison for a year.
Well, we weren't living together.
No.
But yes, I was working in his where he had in front of where he had a film studio, and Pamela, his girlfriend, tumultuous relationship as it was, she wanted to create a rock clothing store in the front, and it was called Themis. So I was originally, through my friend Lee Dunholter, the guy with the incredible mustache that you'll see, said that he knew she wanted to put a mural in front. So I did this mural across the front of it, and then Lee Dunholter and myself and Pamela working with us created this amazing looking shop. And it was really good, and it never really got open to the public, quite honestly. But a lot of major rock stars would come in there, and it became sort of a den of iniquity more than a profitable store, but it was fun. And meanwhile, Jim was in the back with his sidekick Frank, doing his film, the Lizard King, which they shot in the desert, imbibed in something from the desert. And so, anyway, this photograph was sent from a crew from New York came called from Show magazine, which was like people's magazine for like New Yorkers, you know. And excuse me. So anyway, this crew comes out, including this woman who's, I can't remember her name, but she's a really well-known photographer. And that's how I got these photographs. My friend Demo actually contacted her and got these images like this, and then but she wanted to sell them.
Let's see these photos. So where are you?
This is me.
Yeah.
This is Lee Dunholter with the most incredible mustache in the world. And next to him is Jim. This is a girl that worked there.
Yeah.
It was in the braless era. And this is his girlfriend, Pam. And this is his hairdresser, her hairdresser from down the street.
Okay.
And then me. And then, well, here I am again. And there's the girl from the place. She kept changing costumes. And there's actually not very good pictures of Jim and Pamela. But.
Crazy.
So, anyway.
Okay, so and then what's the other story about when they stashed you away in his cottage?
Oh, his cottage. Well, first of all, just to end this is that, so of course Jim had somebody go out and bring back like bottles of whiskey, a couple of cases of beer, and other things, and so by the time the crew arrived, we were absolutely wasted. Not only wasted, but following Jim's lead, being really obnoxious. So they took all these pictures, and I have the magazine somewhere here, but in it they said disparaging things about all of us. Because we were acting like assholes, essentially. We really were. I mean, it was, you know, we're all in our early 20s and stuff, you know, so but it was fun. So, well, the other story is, I hope there's a statute of limitations here, but anyway, I was often running to get, you know, materials, equipment and stuff for the things that we were doing, and Pamela had this Porsche, so she just gave me the keys, and I would just take it whenever I wanted to go get stuff. And so one day I come in there, you know, and everybody's all kind of like, oh, what's going on? She said, well, Pamela left, disappeared, and flew to Paris after a humongous fight between her and Jim. And I said, oh, well, you know, not being surprised. But then they said, well, the problem is that she left her car, just left the Porsche in a place that immediately they came down, searched the car, towed it away, and found in the back of the car like about a pound and a half of marijuana and some evidence that there was heroin going on.
Right.
And so, and one more important thing they found, my wallet. They found my wallet in the car. Oh, no. And so then I get this call from Jim's attorney saying that they're coming to pick me up. And
who, the cops or them?
No, the attorneys.
Oh, okay.
Sending some of, Jim's
attorneys, because I guess he has people.
No, it was actually Frank, his like right hand man. So they got me in a car. They drove me all the way to Topanga, and Jim had a little like love shack in Topanga. So they dropped me off there. We went down, first picked up a whole bunch of groceries. They gave me some money in case I needed anything. But I'm like way up in the hills, so like going down into the town and all. Anyway, so they left me there for like about a week and a half, something like that. And then they
because the cops are looking for you at this point because they find your ID.
Yes, right. That's what. Of course, that was my concern. And they came in here and they came back up and they got me and I said, "So what's happening?" And they said, "Everything's good."
And that was just it?
Everything's good, So obviously they're attorneys. They weren't like cheap attorneys.
Yeah.
Very powerful attorneys somehow got me out of it. Never did get my wallet back. Didn't even ask for it. So anyway, it was interesting times.
Crazy, man.
And then there was the time that Jim and I got thrown out of the Whiskey A Go-Go because he fell off the balcony onto a table of executives because he was screaming and yelling at this new group that came up where the lead singer was totally doing Jim Morrison, not Jim Morrison.
Do you remember? Song. You don't remember the name of that group?
No idea, no. And so we were all sitting around, hanging around at the Thema shop. And somebody comes in and says, "Jim, have you heard about this guy?" "Yeah, I've heard the group." He said, "The guy's doing all your moves." "Doing my moves?" "Yeah, fuck him." So we pack up, we start drinking, and we head over to the Whiskey A Go-Go. So we're in like a little balcony, like maybe about 8-10 feet up above all the tables, which were always filled with record executives, checking out the new groups. That's where everybody signed, was through the whiskey at that time. So anyway, the act comes on, and to the horror of this guy in the group, suddenly somebody in the audience is heckling him. And it's Jim Morrison. So the guy on stage is like freaking out. And Jim now and myself, we were very, very drunk at the time. And he's like leaning across the thing, and he falls off the fucking thing, crashes onto a table, sprawling executives like bowling pins, and a fight breaks out. And so I jump down there myself, and I'm in the middle of all this, and suddenly we're grabbed by like very big people and literally thrown out onto the sidewalk in front of the Whiskey A Go-Go.
That's awesome.
And then Frank comes driving up in the car, throws us in the car, and the truth is I remember nothing beyond that incident at night. It was one of those nights.
Awesome. Okay,